Hey everybody, I hope things are going really well. I messed up because I'm in Cleveland and I said today's live with Stacy was today and it's tomorrow. So I am going to set this up really quick. I thought I'd just go live now since you guys are hanging out somewhere and we would talk about this. Let me see if I can also put this in the other chat. Let's see here. So anyhow, I'm not going to see as you guys are coming on, but welcome and thank you for being so cool and so awesome. I am a little discombobulated this week because I made this impromptu trip to Cleveland, which has been delightful. And I'm just getting, if you're wondering what's going on, why am I looking all over the place? I'm looking for this live stream, which I'm not seeing. Am I not live on the right? Yeah, there we go. I am live from the right platform. Awesome. And you don't need to hear that. All right, so I'm going to put this on the other live stream. So if you are not here already, perhaps it may find you. And I am live here. Am I not live on the right? Yeah, there we go. Here we go. You're hearing all the extra videos. You must know how disconcerting it is to see myself twice on the screen. Hey, come hang out here. I'm live from my hotel room. Okay, so that should take care of that. Now I will come back and see if there's anybody hanging out with me. And there's a few of you. Excellent. I'm so sorry for the misinformation. It was my fault. Absolutely. And oh, that's another thing I need to do. Let me just, Cheryl can go, because she's watching, she can go and change the date. I put the date in the title wrong, and that is part of the problem. Also, I thought I changed it in Heartbeat, but I don't think I did. So the real thing is going to happen at the same address tomorrow, Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Stacy. And let me get some windows up so I can see your comments. So I apologize. I was like, better catch you while you're there. Window, comments. Yay, look at all of you wonderful people hanging out with me. I really appreciate all of you so much. So much that this is my lunch break for the conference, so I was eating a little salad, and I was kind of toying with doing this video earlier today anyhow, but I thought it was too early for most of you guys to see it. So let's come over here and say, hey, oh, Betsy, you guys are the best. Of course I'm going to worry about you. Who would I be if I was not worried? I do have a silly t-shirt on. You just can't see it. It's a bat. A rainbow bat. Hey, Miss Debbie, how are you doing today? And I'm not sure why this says it here. I think I'm in the right place. I guess we'll find out. If I have to reschedule something for tomorrow, I will take a deep breath and put on my big girl pants and it will work out just fine. Oh, Deborah says she's glad I made it to Cleveland. Me too. I did, and I can answer some questions about that. The reason it took me a minute is I've got my show and tell all around because, you know, I can't do life without show and tell. And the bottle you keep hearing that I keep hitting is my Garden Dill Mustard Seed Balsamic. It's just a California balsamic. It is delightful on a salad. It's better than any like made-up dressing. Because I'm surprised that came in here. I'm wondering if I didn't tell the right place where to go. But you guys the numbers keep going up. You must be finding me. I appreciate the effort you're putting in. Ann says hello. TS says I'm in my local Costco shopping and thought I would listen. I love that. That's something I do. So on Zoom meetings, I'm either eating breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Or I'm walking around doing errands somewhere if it's just something I'm listening to. Hey, Renee and Jill. Karen, thank you. I appreciate you guys understanding. What conference am I attending? This is one I didn't even know existed. It's the Content Entrepreneur Expo. And my friend Caleb works at Ecamm. You guys know I use Ecamm for my like multi-camera setup and going live and recording. They had an extra ticket, so he gave it to me, and I've been itching for a couple of days away from the cicadas, away from the animals, a little solo kind of conferencecation. I'm making up a word. I've got to be better at making up words than that. But kind of like, I'm going to some of the things because they're not all for me, but there's enough, and I'm staying in a nice hotel room, which honestly is my biggest vice. And staying in a nice hotel room alone. So I've been going downstairs and listening to some things, and I come up here and I make myself some food. I've been doing some work on the new Ninja Creamy ebook too. If some of you guys want to be testers and you didn't volunteer to be testers yet, email me at kathyhester@gmail.com and we can get you set up with that. But so the conference seems to be a little more businessy. Most of the time I go to food blogger conferences, which is more female forward and just a different vibe. Like they're guys in suits here. Not all of them, but I'm like, I feel funny in my witchy t-shirts a little bit, but so some of these people are people I would hire to help me do my thing. So it's very interesting. It's just a whole different way of looking at life. So it's kind of cool. I was just in a TikTok session with this cool lady, and I learned a lot in that. So it's mostly boring for you guys. I was in an interview this morning with Nicholas, and he is like a coach for content creators. And so we did an interview about like how I started doing what I do, and I think all that stuff's a little boring. So if you guys want and you're interested, I'll get that video and I can put it up somewhere where you guys can watch it. But other than that, well, you guys know me. So so you just have to tell me if you want it and you can have it. But it's been a very cool convention. I went to a vegan restaurant a couple of days ago. I'm going to a vegan cocktail bar tonight, so I can talk a little more about that. Let me go through the comments. I feel like you all deserve recognition for just showing up and being here. Susan says, I found you. Yay. Thank you for finding me. Let's see if this is a little bit better. Hey, Miss Diana, welcome. Okay, great. TS has a question regarding an item in an older video. It's called the fourth burner. It's a tall, narrow steamer. Do I still recommend and use it? I used it a lot when I was doing small batch preserving. So I would just do like 1 or 2 cans, and it was kind of cool. I honestly was looking at it, trying to decide if it deserved its space anymore. But I'm going to wait through this summer. It's very light. It takes a long time to come up to boil. I think it's aluminum, but none of my food is touching it, so I'm not really concerned. But I think if you do small batch canning, especially like, is it half pint jars that are real squat and big? Those kind of like deluxe gifting jars. Those fit in there. And is it Marissa? Marissa has a book about small batch canning that I really like. So TS, if you remind me or email me at kathyhester@gmail.com, I will find that book and maybe find some stuff for you to go follow her too, because she is awesome. Oh, and Debbie says, I like your glasses. Are they new? I think they're all, I don't think they're quite a year old, but close. But I'm never this close. Like, right, my face is not like all the screen. I'm just terrified of those of you who watch on YouTube TV. I'm like, I didn't bring any lotion, so I'm probably a little crunchy around there. But yeah, I always have weird glasses here. I'll put them up for people who can't see because of the light. And then on this side, they have little stripes. Oh, Raven, I'm not giving up my lunch. Look, I will eat with you guys too. I'm almost through with my salad. It was just a little garden salad. At least they had something for me today. They did not have anything for me yesterday, and I'm not the only one. So I was disappointed. Those of you who are on my mailing list, you got my kvetchy email about the one thing I forget about conferences is that they're not always good. And that's why I was like, I do have a topic we can talk about today, and I have some things I can show and tell. Hey, Lori. Oh, Judy says, welcome to Ohio. It has been really a pleasant experience. I think it's Cleveland Vegan is the name of the restaurant. And I had the 2 days ago. And it was so good. I think I'm going to go tomorrow before I drive back home, which means me leaving a couple of hours later. But I had this beautiful vegan Benedict. It was not all whole food plant-based. They had one of the, I don't know what's in it, but they have those eggs that have the runny middle that's vegan, obviously. So I don't know how whole food plant-based those were. They had homemade English muffin, homemade carrot lox, an almond ricotta. So it was, and a little hollandaise sauce. And I ate half of that there, and then I brought half, and that's what I ate for my lunch yesterday. So I also would say, when you're somewhere and you're not sure about food or what, if you're depending on someone else, leftovers are great. I checked to make sure this hotel was going to have like a little fridge, and I planned accordingly. I also have a whole cooler over here. You would think I was going to be gone forever, but I am gone for, like 5 days, and that's enough to be mindful, I think. Oh, it's good to see you, SFOS. Oh, Liz says she loves being a tester. That's awesome. And you guys are just being great, those of you who are testing. So one of the things is I skipped a couple of things yesterday so I could put a few more recipes up. I actually have about 15 or more recipes in my notebook, which literally is a notebook with my scribbles. And so I'm going to try and get up some of the drink recipes possibly tonight. I think I still have maybe 3 or 4 more regular ones. There's also going to be some more information in there for those of you who are testing. For those of you who are pre-ordering the book, and you know what, I should put the pre-order in here because you guys are going to ask me and I'm not going to have it. So let me just grab it really quick. So the book is planned to come out on May 31st. It's in test. The recipes are in testing. I'm developing some of the recipes as well. And if you pre-order, what you're going to get is a free class. So I'm going to do a free live class, and I'm going to answer your questions about Ninja Creamy, and then probably next week or like by the 15th, I'll give you a little sneak peek into the book because I already have some of the photos, some of the recipes, and we can talk about that too. All right, now let me come all the way back. So there we go. I will say don't you love the way I can't type without talking? Pre-order the new Ninja Creamy Whole Food Plant-Based ebook 2 here. All right. Okay, awesome. And then I saw a question right before that. Here we go. Did I bring my Instant Pot with me? No, I did not, because it's kind of a lot. And what I did do was I brought some dry rice. And again, these do have some oil in them. So if you're SOS, things like that, these may not be the best solution. I could have also made some dal, frozen them in big cubes and blocks, and it probably would take 3 days for it to totally thaw out. So I could go from the cooler tin here. But this is one pack that I really like. So I got some of these like Indian dals. And again, they do have a little bit of oil in them. So some more than others. This is actually, Tasty Bite is one you see at the grocery store all the time. This has actually almost half the fat of that one. I like this because this has some greens in it. It has some dal in it. And usually when we're at home, we'll have 2 of these. I also had a mushroom potato one. So these are all vegan. While they're not perfect, they're still probably less oil than I would get if I just ordered out on DoorDash or something. And I'm going to show you and this is another one. I brought extra. I'm not going to go through all these. But let's see. This one says made with plants. Usually, yeah, there we go. You can see the V. They do have some that are vegetarian, so just make sure that you're checking that. The Tasty Bites also talk about if it's mild or spicy, if that's something that you need to know. And I can't remember where I got these. I got this one and a plain one. And it's that same brand as the first one, but it's cooked rice. So this one has turmeric and cumin. I think I have a brown rice. So I have these. So literally in the car tomorrow, if I am somehow taken by hunger, if I wanted to, I could open this up and pour some of the other stuff in. It's all pre-cooked. You know, would it be the absolute tastiest? No, it would be much better heated up. But I kind of was thinking we should put this in our emergency car fund as well. And then I just brought, since I'm new to using this Itaki that I'm going to show you, I brought white rice. Also, it's what we had. There was like just enough to make like 4 single serving batches, so it worked out perfectly. And I will get back to this. I'm going to see if there's more questions. Oh, you're in Cleveland. I'm in Cleveland. You know what? I'm going to go to Cloak and Dagger tonight. So if you want, I don't even know if it's a great place, but it's a vegan cocktail bar and it's supposed to be spooky and really nice atmosphere. So, and they have snacks. So that is good. You know, I got to see it while I'm here. Hey, Kimberly. Oh, Christine is asking, what does it mean to be a tester? Some of my testers have been with me for 14 years now. It's crazy. So basically, I put up all the recipes. You make what fits in with your lifestyle. I talk about some things because if you don't follow the recipe, because you can tell people to follow the recipe all day. I know you're not going to. But what I want to know is exactly what changes you made. And that way, if your changes make it worse, then when I'm troubleshooting later on, I have that information. If it makes it better, then maybe I rework the recipe and we all learn and get better together. It is going to be fairly fast since I'll probably still leave the testing site up till the 30th of this month. So it's a little faster than usual, but in a way, some of these should come out with similar results. So if you have some more questions, though, just email me, kathyhester@gmail.com. Oh, Penny's a techie, so it's not boring. Oh, good. Okay, well, we can talk about some of that, too. He was asking me about some of the SaaS tools that I use, and I'm always like, exactly what kind of software is a service? Like I'm thinking back into my web developer days, and I'm like, oh yeah, I use Ecamm and Canva and Photoshop and all that. Okay, so another yes to seeing the interview video. So Nicholas, if you are watching this, then yes, I would love to put that up. Hey, Miss Jackie, it's good to see you here. Sherry, the restaurant I'm going to tonight is called Cloak and Dagger, which would have probably wrapped me around its little finger just from that. But the fact that it's got kind of a spooky atmosphere and it's all vegan. The only other all vegan bar I have ever gone to was Charlie is a Sinner in Philadelphia, and it was kind of cool. It was a very speakeasy atmosphere. They have some mocktails as well. I'm not a complete teetotaler, but I probably will, if there's a really good cocktail that I can't find all the ingredients to, I'll probably have that or a mocktail, whichever looks better. And they did seem to have some food. This chair is not comfortable, but I'm trying to lean because I feel like there's a halo up there. But if I sit the other way, this is where the window is. Okay. So that's what restaurant I'm going to. And so you heard what about testers. That's why I'm going to go through this. I'm sorry. I know I've been chatting a lot. TS says, looking for something to steam, cook potatoes and veggies. This should work. To do, and I will get there. Yay, Apple, live from Cleveland. And actually, I didn't even do that on purpose. I just actually am live and in Cleveland. Yeah, Cleveland vegan. Like, I was kind of expecting it not to taste super fresh, but It was it was so delightful when I took it out of the fridge, a whole little mini Benedict. I just ate it like that. I didn't heat it up, and it was delightful again. Okay, great, Diana. I'll be checking my email. Oh, Raven saw the smoky caramel. Yeah, it was in a session. I was like, let me put, that's one of my new favorite ones. So it's smoky vanilla caramel ice cream. If you go on Facebook, you'll see it. I can come and post that in the community here as well. But it's really cool. So I'm using a tea called Lapsang, which is a smoked tea, and that's what gives it the smoky flavor. So if you don't like smoky, you could just not use it. You could use regular milk or not regular vegan milk, plant-based milk of your choice instead, in place of it, or you could use a different tea or an herbal tea or something like that. We're getting the caramel flavor from the dates. And I'm putting in, the one I made first, I put in some okara or soybean milk pulp. But you can use sweet potato, and I'm working on a whole list for this book of whole food plant-based thickeners, like tofu and beans and zucchini and cauliflower and oats and all these different things, so that you're going to be able to tailor these recipes to A, what you have, and B, what you want to be eating. So I'm very excited about the concept. So I hope that's helping. Oh, Miss Obbs is here. Why are you not here going to Cloak and Dagger with me? That's what I want to know. Come on. It's not, it's probably a 12-hour drive from Atlanta. Apple says, I'm looking at Cloak and Dagger's Instagram. Yeah, it is. It does seem totally up my alley. And I am such a party pooper in a way. So we're going at 4:30, and I'm super excited about that because I don't want to be out late. I don't want it to be too loud. I've been with people for days. Oh yeah, Lapsang tea is awesome. So Jeremy lives in the Triangle area where I live, and he says I can't drink enough soy milk to make enough okara. You can use sweet potatoes instead. It's okay. That's also why, because the hilarious thing is, so I had just made a half a gallon of soy milk for Cheryl for when I left, and then I made another half gallon for me because I am not paying $8 for chai. So I had my own chai up, and on the way back I'm going to have my lavender matchas because I brought everything for those. But before I left, I had so much okara that I actually froze it in blocks. So I'm going to have blocks of okara. So those of you testing may or may not have the capabilities to make enough okara to do that. And again, okara is just the leftover pulp you strain from homemade soy milk. Do not use okara powder. It's not the same thing. But just use a sweet potato. Use chickpeas or white beans. We're just using a half a cup per pint, and I'm finding for me that's a sweet spot as far as thickness and mouthfeel. Some people are using gums like guar gum, Terra gum, xanthan gum. I'm seeing glycerin used, and the big one in most of the communities seems to be pudding mix, and pudding mix is just cornstarch. Why not let's save some money and put some cornstarch in there? But I think they're wanting the flavors too. But all that just seems a little extra. Like when I got those white sweet potatoes, which are seasonal where I live, at the farmer's market, I went ahead and cooked off 2 cases of them. I peeled them. Jeremy's been using the sweet potatoes unpeeled in his pints, so I'm curious to get some more reconnaissance on that. I think it would still add a really nice smooth flavor or smooth texture. It might change the color, especially if you're using a Korean or a Japanese sweet potato versus a Hana yam or like these old-timey heirloom ones that I got my hands on. Yeah, so I'm playing with that too. Also pear, applesauce, things that you can sweeten with that also still thickens it and makes the mixture not too hard for the Ninja Creamy, because you can break your machine. And Hobbs says, I should be there for Cloak and Dagger. I know, I miss my, like, you are a great, like, partner in crime. So we're excited. You're going to Creator Camp, eCam Creator Camp again, aren't you? Because Cheryl and I just signed up. And Tanya says, I wonder how long it would take me from London, Ontario. I wish you could come here. That would be awesome. I won't be out late. Okay, this is great. Betsy is saying, if you don't have the Lapsang tea, where can you get it? You can get it on Amazon. And if you're a tester, this morning I went and put a link to buy it on Amazon. You can probably get it at any tea store. I picked the simplest, cheapest one. I don't use it a lot, but it is going to be in 2 recipes. I just forgot the name of my non-alcoholic box. How did I do that? In my non-alcoholic box, they gave me some cherry juice and some Lapsang tea. And I'll remember it in a hot minute. I've said it 80,000 times. And what's cool is, because it's a non-alcoholic box, so I thought they were kind of pulling the wool over my eyes, or pulling the kudzu over my eyes, should we be vegan politically correct. And because they were like, it's a faux red wine. I was like, like Boone's Farm with the cherry juice. And so you brew this smoky dark tea and you put some cherry juice, and I think it had another ingredient, but I'm making a faux red wine sorbet using the tea. It actually was remarkably as complex as wine, from all the different flavors and levels from the Lapsang tea and the cherry juice, because it's not super sweet. It was delightful. Tanya says, sadly, we only have the orange sweet potatoes and sometimes purple. Wish I could try the white ones. That's how I felt for a while. And then I went to the Raleigh Farmers Market, and evidently we get them in the spring. At Whole Foods Market, we get them 1 time a year. Now I know why. They're probably local. I thought they weren't. Alternatives for these white sweet potatoes, Hannah yams, anything like that, is going to be, if you have an H Mart or an Asian grocery near you, you can get Korean sweet potatoes and you can get Japanese sweet potatoes. They're red on the outside and white on the inside. And in fact, I have one in the little fridge here. So it wouldn't be alive with me if I didn't leave camera. I was talking with the guy that I was interviewing with, and it was funny. He was like, I'm like, I'm up for anything at all, I'll be fine. He's like, I know, you walk off camera. Doesn't that make you laugh? You're like, what is alive without Kathy if she's not bringing me something? Okay, these aren't going to look pretty. They've also been kind of sitting here, so they have some wetness. So you're seeing this, and you're like, Kathy, that is not a white sweet potato. But let's tear off some of this. It's still going to look a little bit funky, but it's white. And delicious. See? And these I've used in some as well. They have a little bit of a yellow tinge to it, but it shouldn't really mess with your like color palette. If you're doing a vanilla or something, you're already putting possibly some dates, which is going to give it a little bit of that brownish color. So and it smells sweet. It smells like cake. This is my lunch and dinner for the road. I made enough potatoes that I had a potato. I think I've had at least a potato a day. I've had the option to have 2 potatoes a couple of times as well. So that's one I would say. And you could do regular potatoes. But when I'm baking a big sheet pan of Korean sweet potatoes, Hannah yams, white sweet potatoes, Japanese, the whole house smells like vanilla cake. And I don't know about you, but I'm team, let's eat the healthy foods that taste like cake. Like that's just not even, I can't see any other way to look at it. So you do have those options. And sometimes people were saying in Indian markets, they're finding some white sweet potatoes as well. So now they don't taste the same as the orange. Like, I don't mind the orange sweet potato in a pint, and I made this a while ago, and I'll probably put it in the book too. I made a sweet potato casserole ice cream, so it was kind of cinnamony and yummy, or a sweet potato pie. But I did make a like orange sweet potato chocolate pint, and it was not a success. The sweet potato really overshadowed even the chocolate flavor. So Tanya, you have hope. And with these other thickeners, you could use okara, you could use nut milk pulp, you can use silken tofu, you can use cauliflower, you can use zucchini, you can use leftover steel cut oats. There's like, I'm going to have a ton, so you're not just limited. Oh, hey, Live for Avocados. I am in Cleveland for a conference, for a creator entrepreneur conference even. Okay, Darlene has a question regarding milks. And you've been watching my videos on milk makers. If any of you guys are looking for a milk maker, please do look on YouTube and watch the video reviews I've done on healthyslowcooking.com. I also have a post where I just go through all of them too, if you want to read through it and just kind of get an idea. The number one question asked to me is, what milk maker is best for oat milk? Your blender. Don't buy one for oat milk. Okay, now this guy. I have a Vitamix. Is there any reason for me to purchase a milk maker? Okay, if you're making oat milk, you don't need a milk maker. If you are doing soy milk, like I make a lot of soy milk to cook with, and now I'm really invested in using that soy milk pulp. If you go to healthyslowcooking.com, I've got like an okara ricotta recipe. I have a okara goat cheese recipe, and as some of you know, I'm toying with the idea of an okara cookbook for next year. So it makes it easy because then you soak the beans or not, totally up to you. You put them in there with the water, it cooks them, it does all the things, and then you just have to strain it. And you only have one thing to clean. And most of the milk makers I'm talking about are stainless steel. A little, the okara sticks on there. But if you're using, you could use your blender to do it. You could either blend up cooked soybeans or uncooked soybeans. There has to be a cooking process before you blend it or after. It has to be cooked before then you're separating it. So that the okara is cooked and that the soybeans are cooked. So when I put it into a milk maker, it just cooks everything, and then I just strain it, and then my okara is ready to use. And it's easy peasy. If you're doing nut milk, you could do it either way. Honestly, a lot of people who do like almond milk, cashew milk, use the almond cow. It doesn't have a heat setting, but it costs just as much as the Mia Mat that does have it. So if you're going to spend $200 on an appliance, I recommend you go ahead and get one that can easily assist you if you want to make other milks. So hopefully that helps. So Darlene, tell me a little more about what kind of milk you're thinking of making, and I'll give you a better recommendation just for yourself. Yay, OBS is going to be at Creator Camp. So you guys remember we went up to the Northeast during Halloween season, and I went to Salem and Sleepy Hollow. I was so excited. See, now you guys who maybe didn't know a little bit about me know why I want to go to Cloak and Dagger today. And so we're going to get to see all that. Tanya says, I turned into a pumpkin 9:30 to 10. Yes, yes. Raising the bar. Thank you, Jill. So I got my Raising the Bar box. So if you are a teetotaler for any reason, or you just are kind of mocktail curious, Raising the Bar, I don't get any, I'm not an affiliate. I pay them a lot of money to get this. It's actually my most expensive treat. Cheryl's mom actually buys it for me for my birthday every year. But it's just really nice. There's lots of little syrups and things. If you're SOS, like if you don't do any kind of sugar, it might not be as interesting to you, but sometimes they'll put in zero proof, like, what's the word, spirits, 0 proof spirits, like a non-alcoholic rum or gin, And I love being able to have these small tastes of things and tell you about it. Sherry says if I'm driving through Medina, Ohio, I'm going to write this down in case I am. I will find out. Black Cat's Book and Oddities. That sounds right up my alley. Because I'm also, I'm working on the Ninja Creamy Book 2 now, but as soon as that's out in the world in the summer, I'm going to start working on my potions and powders, or dry mixes, spice blends, and sauce ebook that's going to come out later this year. Okay, let's see. Diana is saying, I sent an email to you and wanted to know if this would make okara. Okay, I don't know this one, but Nurtured Effect. All right, let's get on Amazon and I'll share this. Let's see, can I do it from here? I can, I think. I don't think it's showing what I think it's going to show. Let's come back here for a second. Let me try it from over here. Nurtured Milk Maker. Nurtured Effect Milk Maker, right? Okay, I see it. And now I'm going to come back here and see if I can get you guys to see it too. There we go. Okay, I think I just had to be here. Alrighty. So when I started doing reviews of milk makers last year, there were maybe 10. And now there's like 70 million. So a lot of them are made by the same manufacturer. So what I'm doing first is zooming into this control panel to take a look. And oh, you know what? It would help if I took this down so you guys can see it. I'm on my laptop, so it doesn't have all the settings. So we've got warm, hot, boil water, keep warm, self-clean. It's very much like the Arc Mirror. And yes, I'm leaving again. Okay. So I brought my Arc Mirror with me because it's small-ish. It does about 2 to 3 cups of stuff. And in here, it has some of those same things. So you'd be able to make a latte, all of that. Okay, now let's see if we can see inside. Okay, it looks to me from looking here that's probably stainless steel. There we go, we're looking at the blades. And I actually still have water in here. But the blades look actually just about the same. The Arc Mirror has a little more jagged blades on the bottom, but I don't know that that's really super helpful. I do see it has a 4-star rating. I think that probably Arc Mirror, let's see, do they have the Arc Mirror here? Because usually I look around, okay, we're seeing that 6 blades. We don't care about its elegant brand logo. It has a timer like this one does. What I'm not seeing, it's got 20 fluid ounces, which is like about 2.5 cups, right? Yeah, 2.5 cups. Exactly. Look at me mathing and this impromptu live. So I'm going to come down here. All the milk makers have some weird reviews. So I definitely see a lot of 5 stars. I always look at so some of these aren't always made super well, and it's hard to know. This one says the wall plug is for Chinese systems. Someone got a used one. They're all a little hard to clean up, and I recommend getting one of those little OXO scrubbers to clean the bottom, and I can show you that when I get home. Let's look at 2s. I feel like these were a little kvetchy. Okay. This is no reason to give someone a 2-star. It's 2 cups maximum capacity. Well, you know what? It's a small milk maker. So this one would be comparable to the Arc Mirror. And I would say you're not going to get a lot of okara from there because you're going to make such small amounts, but you can save it in the freezer until you do. I use a half a cup of soybeans, then I soak them, then I use 5 cups of water and I blend it together. From that, I get 1 cup of okara in a larger milk maker. For those of you who are like, what is this Archimera? You saw it a little bit, but it's actually very inexpensive now, and it has like a 4-star as well. They have different ones, like this one looks more similar to this Nurtured Effect. This one is a larger Archimera, but I don't love it because it has a non-stick bottom, and I don't know what it's made out of, and I don't know why it has a non-stick bottom. Things do get a little stained, but if you just take a brush and scrub it, you're good to go. This is the exact one that I have. Look, and don't forget when you're looking on Amazon, if there's a coupon, clip it. And so that makes this $49.99. If you want a small milk maker, this is my favorite small milk maker. I've had mine, I think, for 2 years now, and it is the one I travel with. I have some videos using it on YouTube as well. So let's go back to the Nurtured Effect. How much was it? I didn't pay attention. And that is also $49.99. So I think you could get either one. You're looking at the same price. I don't know this one. I didn't know Archimera either. So it's not like I know the people at Archimera. It's just I liked it. It's small. It's easy to travel with. It's bigger than the Nutter, but it's also better built than the Nutter, which was kind of the big one that was going around. So Diana, does that help a little bit? And I'm going to go... Oh, that's a good question. And, you know, I can look that up too. Let's Google with Kathy, right? Okay, so let me look up athletic beer. Evidently my talking and my, it says non-alcoholic beer. So let's come look. Let me come back over here and I'll share my screen. Oh, come on. Entire screen. Yeah, there we go. All right. And Penny is absolutely right. Oftentimes there is a 0.5%. So let's check in here. There's actually going to be one of these that I use in an ice cream with an option. So let's see, beer, and let's see what they say. Let's look at the Athletica. This one, it does say contains less than 0.5 alcohol. So that means it could have a tiny bit. So it says here, less than, vegan. It's really good about giving non-GMO. Athletic Brewing is all kind of in the whole mocktail, sober curious world. Their beers are delicious. Let's go back to beer. Let's find something else so we can compare. Let's look at Trailblazer. And that does also say that. So I think theirs are less than, but that could be 0.4999999, right? And it shows exactly what's in it, which is kind of nice. So that's what I would have to say, and I don't know if there's any actual zero alcohol beers. Now, with that said, there's not really, there can be a tiny bit of alcohol in kombucha too. It comes from the brewing process. However, should you decide not to imbibe alcohol at all in any form or amount, kind of like if you're doing no sugar or no salt, just check the labels. Most of the zero alcohol spirits are zero alcohol, but beer does usually creep up just a little bit. I think just from the fermentation process, they're not guaranteeing it. Tanya, I think you're asking what is the potato that I showed you. That is a Korean sweet potato, not a Korean yam, which looks exactly the same. I had someone, yeah, that was, I saved my 2 big ones for the return home. CJ says my white sweet potatoes are a quarter of that size. I had some that were teeny tiny that I got at the farmer's market too. Oh, that's awesome. Apple says I had a neighbor knock on the door asking if I opened a bakery when I'm roasting Japanese sweet potatoes. Um, Tanya, I put in my notes 2 nights ago to try a regular potato. Here's what I'm worrying about with a regular potato. I think you could just mash it really well, like in the little Ninja container with like a little avocado masher or something like that. But when you spin it, I am not sure if it's going to get super gummy nasty. I prefer to blend the mixtures thoroughly, then put them in the pint to freeze them. I would not do that with potato because it's just going to get gummy and be weird. So that's why I have to test it a little bit. Christine says for people living in Ontario, the farm boys markets have been carrying Japanese sweet potatoes and Hannah yams for the last 6 months. Yeah, I need to live in Canada, I think. Nut milk pulp. There's going to be a lot of options. I know I've been talking more about using okara because I have a lot of it. Like you would not believe how much I've used, and I've still not managed to go through my whole stash. But freeze it and don't be like me. Yeah, okara is soy milk pulp. Oh, Tanya's never had soy milk. But it's okay. Back in the day, it tasted super, super beany. And it wasn't as pleasant. Then Silk Unsweetened happened, and this is probably still, 25, 26 years ago, and I was vegetarian, but that's what I drank. I never liked milk, and now it's not quite so beany. So one thing that happens if you make homemade soy milk and it tastes beany, which is a nice way of saying it tastes kind of weird, and maybe, to me, it tastes almost green, like something's not done. It means the milk hasn't cooked long enough. So when I use the soy Bella, because these milk makers have timed cycles, and you have to let them rest between the cycles. So with the soy Bella, I would make it, and then I would cook the milk in the Instant Pot. I'd strain it into the Instant Pot and cook it an extra time. This is when I was not using the okara either. But the okara should be cooked enough to use in other products. With the Miomat, which is my favorite milk maker, and if you guys go to miomat.com, MIOMAT.com, and use Kathy Hester, all one word, you get $15 off. I don't cook it a second time, and in fact, it will run a second cycle on its own. So if you find that it's beany after the first time it beeps, next time just leave it longer, and then it will cut off after the second cycle. Sherry says, I need a creamy so bad. They're showing up again now in Sam's Club, Costco, all of those places, so take a look. There was also a really good deal at QVC on a deluxe model. Deluxe versus original, doesn't matter. Just get what you get. You can make all the things in both, and I'm going to show you how. So don't worry about that. Yeah, Monica says I use my Vitamix for all my milks except soy, and that's totally valid. Since I have the Miomat, I do go ahead and make things like almond milk. Almond milk on the raw setting isn't raw. It cooks it a little bit, just not past that raw allowable temperature. So that if you don't soak your almonds, you can kind of still make almond milk that day. But it just depends on what you're going to make. You can also make soup. So probably we will be taking the Miomat with us on our trip in October. And I could just make I'll probably bring cashews. I might bring some soy. You never know. Because I won't be keeping any of the pulp from there. But you can also make soups. You can make chunky soups, and you can make smooth soups in it too. So, It just depends if you think you might use it in a different way. Oh, and Apple says, I've never had any animal milk. I never liked it. And in fact, there's a story, I don't know if I've told you guys, that literally when I was in my 20s, I had been drinking coffee with this milk in my fridge all day, and I made a coffee for someone. They were like, they spit it out immediately. And I'm like, milk always tastes like that to me. So not only do I have signs that I was going to be vegetarian early on, there were signs that I was going to be vegan. Oh, you made the chocolate almond candy bar ice cream. That is so good. And you guys can find that recipe on YouTube for sure. I don't know if it's on the blog or not. Oh yeah, Penny, and there's no right way. There's the right way for you. What works best for me one time may not work best for you. And I change. So Penny says she's lazy or needs time for other stuff, and both are valid. And she buys Joy, which is kind of like cashew butter, almond butter that's really, really smooth. Like smoother than anything I've ever seen. I think the Nutrimilk milk maker would make that. And the Nutrimilk milk maker is very expensive, and if you make a lot of nut butters for your family, could be worth it. But I don't recommend it because it's plastic. It's not horrible to clean up or anything, but I just feel like it's quite expensive for a milk maker that doesn't heat up. Oh, Terry got the Beast. So the Beast is that little blender that they were having on sale at Costco for like $70, and it even on Amazon it's $200. So if you can snag one and you need a smaller blender, I've been using it instead of the Beast. I've been using it with all my new Ninja Creamy experiments, and it works really well. Darlene says soy and almond milk, very little oat. If you're doing soy milk, I think it's worth it to invest in a milk maker, honestly. Just because of the ease of use, and that you know, I don't want to futz over a stove, then strain that, clean all that, then it's just, I don't know, that's me. And if you enjoy doing that, if that makes you feel like, you know, you're homesteading the soy, then you should keep doing that, because that's probably worth it for you. Oh, Cheryl's saying Medina is where Mom and Dad lived for a while. Is it on my way, Cheryl? I wrote down the name of the thing, but I didn't write down Medina. Do I come near that? Because that would be awesome. Hemp milk. You could make hemp milk in a blender, because I've never made hemp milk, so I'd have to look, but do you soak your hemp seeds? And if you have a powerful blender, even if it's something you're supposed to soak, you can usually get away with not doing that. Ooh, okay, here we go. Raven says I was going to suggest a stop at Serpent Mound Historical Site. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's see. Serpent, because I'm going to forget all of this once I'm off. Serpent Mound in... Oh, she gave me a whole address. I like that. I can plug that into the GPS. So I don't have to be home at any specific time. I have to be home by Saturday so I can teach a class. But I'll be home before then. Don't worry, Cheryl. Unless they tell me too many cool places to go. Kimberly has a microwave steamer from Pampered Chef that she loves. Like, there aren't microwaves as much in the hotel rooms. I feel like the past few that I've been in. The Beast was a ship-only option. Okay, I like the containers and lids. Yeah, it actually has lids where you can put it on top of the containers and put it in the fridge, or they have these weird handle ones. And I don't see myself Little Riding Hood around the neighborhood with my, I don't know, nacho cheese sauce. Maybe I'll find a really good use for it. Right now they're in the corner. Yeah, Amazon Warehouse is always the best. And you guys, so you go to Amazon.com on your computer, up in the little bar where it says books and groceries, you click there, and near the top it says Amazon Warehouse. Those are returns. They tell you what things might not be an original box is dented, or things like that. So you get information, and you can return it if you don't like it. Okay, yeah, Athletic has 0.5% alcohol is what we're talking about. Apple. Let's Google with Kathy is fun. Would watch again. You guys are awesome. Oh, there's a new one called Milk, M-Y-L-K, showing up on Facebook on, okay. I haven't heard that, but there's tons of them. So what happens is people go to a Chinese manufacturer. Sometimes they even have, well, we already make these. We can private label them for you, like so they can make a Kathy Hester milk maker or whatever. And that's what's happening with a lot of these. So if you see the ones that look kind of alike, they're probably made in a similar manufacturer, in a similar place. Hey, Miss Mona, we are just discussing everything. Basically, I messed up and told everybody Cheryl and Stacy were going to be on live today when it's tomorrow. And I was up here eating my lunch in the hotel room. I'm in Cleveland. And I was like, why not go live? And I still haven't even done all the show and tell. Look at me, like, acting like I know what I'm doing. Let's see if there are any more questions. Oh, I think that sounds good, Terry. I heard someone say they split the sweet potatoes before roasting, and that burn you get when you lay them face down is good. And it was Nan Simonson. Okay, that's great. Like, you saw me peel off some of that, and it does get well, actually, maybe all of you haven't. Let me open my sweet potato box again. So you can tell here, like, see how some of it's darker? And I feel like that's parts that have a little more sugar. They taste a little sweeter. And I just peeled off the skin a minute ago to show you what was underneath. That's my driving home lunch and dinner. There we go. And hey, Jill. And Tanya says she blends in her Vitamix first. Yeah, I feel the potato would get good. We were talking about using white potato possibly in an ice cream mix. I would say don't do it till I experiment with it. I think it's going to be a fail. Jill says we're talking about everything, and we are. We literally are. Thanks for the Apple's doing a recap. Sweet potatoes, okara, milk makers, non-alcoholic drinks, creamy, and spooky fun places to go in Cleveland and in Ohio, possibly on the way home. Mona says, so we're talking about the usual then. Yes, you guys know me and take care of me quite well. Okay, Milk is a new one popping up on Facebook. It has pre-programmed processes. Let me see if I can find it on Milk. Yep, I think it's going to be here. Oh, maybe not. It just gave me that. It's just pulling up milk makers for me. If you can get, oh, you won't be able, let's see. I'll look on Google. Okay, I think I found it. So let me come back over here and see if I can share my screen properly. Look there. Is this the one, Darlene? Does this look right? Let me see if I can. No, thank you. Thank you. All right, let's see what she was saying, the settings. And it's 7 to 8 cups, so it's actually quite large. It might make more milk. I don't know how many cups are in a half gallon. That could make my head explode. But there does seem to be a lot of settings. Okay, here we're still not where I can see the settings. It's not a bad price for a large milk maker. How it works. No sweat, just fresh milk. That's all the milk makers. Create your mix, instant activation. Soy, okay. I need you to show me the big, are you not going to show me the whole thing? Okay, new functions. Soy milk, grain, corn juice, rice paste, boil water, keep warm, baby food, milkshake, nut milk, porridge, drying. I don't know about drying, self-clean. Appointment is like setting it ahead of time. So I'm going to kind of compare this to the Mio mat. I don't know this one, so I'm not trying to say one is better than the other. That's just to have my milk start up and make at 6 o'clock in the morning when I want to get up. Self-cleaning, I don't know the drying button. I don't know why you need drying. I just use a cloth. It's not, it's just one surface. Porridge, nut milk, milkshake, baby food, keep warm, boil water. Rice paste is going to be like congee, so like a stew. One of the things that is often made is like corn juice, corn, grain, soy milk. I think you can do all of the same things. And there's got some faults. They all are going to have some, lid position is important. Is one of the things you'll find out pretty quickly, because there's going to be an error. Even when I took the lid off of my arc mirror to pour my water into the tea, it's beeping because I didn't unplug it first. So I don't know if that helps at all, but it looks interesting for sure. And Milk, if you're watching, if you send me one, I will do a review and put it everywhere. So if you feel really good about your product, let's do it. Yeah, Mona says she likes her soy milk maker. It tastes really good because it cooks the raw out, and that's that beany green taste that I'm talking about. The Soy Bella, I just wish it cooked a little longer, but during the pandemic, I just made it in there because it was hard to get soy milk, and then I just strained it into my Instant Pot, and I did clean up 2 things, but that's why I went ahead and got other milk makers and did the whole series. How do you order my new creamy cookbook? I'm putting the link in again into the comments. So let me see if I can find where I was, because it pulls it all the way down to the bottom. So Jill, I put that it's in the comments. Also, if you just go to Kathy Hester on YouTube in the top, it has a link to go buy that as well. So you're pre-ordering it. So it's not coming out till May 31st. There's probably going to be a class in June. I'm thinking let's give everybody time to pre-order so they can be in the live class. And I'm going to do a sneak peek of the book around the 15th to people who have already pre-ordered as well. Matt says Sam's has the original creamy for $119. That's a really good price. Tanya says I have the 8-ounce bowl and the 20-ounce cups for the Vitamix. Is the base pretty much the same? I have an older Vitamix than you do that doesn't use those as attachments. So I think you would be good the way you are. The Beast has an almost powerful enough motor as the Vitamix. I think it's 1,000 watt. And I have just the other regular attachment that's big. It doesn't work that well on the Vitamix. I have a real small container. If you have an 8-ounce bowl, then you should be golden for everything. I just think that's a great size. Ooh, and Cheryl says I can make some of these places on the way. I'm very excited now. Obs is asking Cheryl, is she surviving without me? Evidently, the cicadas, it's like cicadas gone wild over at our house. So Cheryl has had a headache because the cicadas are so loud. So I think I picked the perfect conference-cation time to do this. Oh, interesting. Monique makes hemp milk in the Vitamix travel mug. 2 to 3 tablespoons of hemp seeds, fill with water and blend. You can strain, but I don't bother. And you don't soak the seeds. Great. That, since I didn't make it, I just wanted to make sure. I didn't think you would have to do that. Oh, Obs is funny. She goes, you do know what you're doing, silly. Obs is the best. And if you guys haven't already gone over and checked out her YouTube channel, we're in a video group together. She does a motivational minute-ish every day. So it's pretty awesome. Okay. Link to the black cat? Me? I don't, oh, you tried to send me the link. I bet you did. But I think I can find it. Again, let's watch Kathy Google things. Let me move this so I can see what I'm typing. Black cat book and oddity. Okay, now that I actually found it. Ooh, it looks fun. Okay, I'm coming down to share with you, I promise. This is just a lot for my my silly mind. Okay, get that off. Come here. What's not to like already? Oh, that looks really cool. Themed rooms? Oh, that looks just too cute. Secret Garden, Phantom's Passage, Sherlock's Study. Cheryl's going to be so mad she's not getting to go there. Oh, Raven, look, there's the Raven's Roost. Cabinet of Curiosities. This looks like big fun. Okay. I will be Googling more about that. And I'll also go and look at the Serpent Mound, too, and see how I can fit that in. Okay. Yeah, look at this. Cheryl, you guys, cooked tofu all by herself yesterday, and I'm very excited. Because I had pressed some tofu that I was going to cook before and take on the trip, and I forgot. All right. Karen bought a 6-quart Netanyahu pot at Amazon warehouse for $30 off, and it was brand new. Box a little beat up. Right? So sometimes people will order more things and they're trying one thing to decide what they want. Sometimes if it's an expensive product, and honestly, a lot of our kitchen and laundry room stuff comes from Lowe's dent and scratch aisle, because I don't care if there's a dent on my dryer. Don't care. We got a toaster oven, air fryer toaster oven for Cheryl's mom. Really inexpensive. If you go to QVC and look at up as is, it brings you to a section. Now I've heard sometimes you get things that were used right live. So people have found icky things in them, but we ordered 2 and they were perfect. Oh, an Instant Pot. I was wondering, I was like, what's a Netanyahu pot? That's great. Yeah, I was just like, yay, Cheryl. Oh, you've never had congee? Congee is awesome, and I think I have a recipe on plantbasedinstantpot.com. Congee is just savory cooked rice porridge. And it doesn't look super appetizing at first, but it's really comforting. So if you don't feel good, and I think I have an oatmeal congee that's on healthyslowcooking.com, but it's a little bit goopy, and sometimes it's a little hard for Americans to get over that hump, but it's a delicious hump to get over. It's worth it. Okay. You guys have been such troopers. I appreciate it. And there we go. Oh, Aubrey is in Georgia. She says, I am not a fan of the cicada noise. Does it sound? It sounds like a UFO. So I heard the 2 distinct cicada sounds before I left town. One is what I call the heat bugs or summer bugs. So that's the sound when it's really hot or it's going to be pretty hot. We hear these cicadas singing. These once every 17-year thing is a whole different deal. It sounds like there's some sort of weird UFO landing and making this weird frequency. Oh, Barbara says that she saw me on PB with Jay interview. It was a really nice time. I really enjoyed talking with him, and bought the Beast because I have a Ninja blender set, but I love the small containers you showed. I wish people would think more about that as far as the manufacturers, because Nobody needs 6 cups of peanut. Well, very few people. I should never say no one. Very few people need 6 cups of peanut butter at a time, right? For me, usually I'm like, a quarter cup would be delightful, but I don't have that option. That's really funny. Tanya says, was talking to Barbara, who saw the interview on PB&J, and said you were double influenced. And see, I don't consider myself an influencer. I consider myself a community creator. So, not that you ever needed to know that. Oh, I'm sorry, Apple. Apple said the Black Cat Bookstore's website hurt my brain. It looked like it was a little bit homegrown, which can happen. I think it will be a cool place. If I do get to go there, I'll post some pictures or a little live from there. Interesting. Raven says the Serpent Mound is more of an energetic experience. This could be so cool. And Monique loves kanji. And Dee loves the savory ricey. Tanya says, I'm technically working. Shh. That's hilarious. Apple says, I love the cicada heat buzz. And this is different. Like it really, it made the hair on my arm stand up. Like it's a very unnatural sound. And it doesn't sound like the heat bugs at all, even though they're the same species. Maybe it's because there's so many of them, but even it's freaking the dog out, it's freaking the cat out. It gave Cheryl a headache. Like it's the sound like I've not heard before. It reminds me, it makes me feel like I'm on a different planet or something. Oh yeah, Monique says you have oatmeal kanji in your Outrageous Oatmeals cookbook, and I think that recipe is also on healthyslowcooking.com. Oh, Mona hasn't heard any of the cicadas in Savannah. Oh my goodness, Terry is asking me, I checked out Homemade Vegan Pantry by Miyoko because you shared the book. What do you like from it? Oh my gosh, I don't remember right at this moment, but once I'm home again, I can look through it. She has lots of things. Most of it is not oil-free or gluten-free. But she has a lot of cool cheeses, breads, pasta. I have a recipe. I have 2 recipes from that book on healthyslowcooking.com. I have Miyoko's ribs that's made with seitan from back in my gluten eating days, and her pasta recipe, which both of them are gluten-y. So if you're gluten-free, those aren't really going to work for you. Yeah, I can't wait for Miyoko's next book either. I just think she's awesome. Okay, do you guys have any other questions? Because we have been on here a long time talking about not much at all. Oh, I'm going to show you the cooker. I've got 2 things to show you. Look at me trying to go back on my promises. So I got this stuff at Costco. Oatsome. And I'll read you the ingredients. So they're overnight oats with chia flax and hemp. And this is the original. I've never seen any of them. And so it has gluten-free whole grain oats, organic rolled oats, gluten-free whole grain organic rolled oats, organic oat milk powder with, oh my goodness, tocopherols. I don't know what that means. Organic cane sugar with organic chia seeds, organic milled flax, organic hulled hemp hearts, and some salt. So it would not be SOS friendly, but it is whole food, plant-based, no oil, because even though chia seeds, flax have some oil in it, or has some fat in it, it doesn't have any added oil. So it's not like olive oil was added to flax seeds or flaxseed oil was added to this. So that's a differentiation that's made a lot of times. So whole food, plant-based, no oil diet is not a zero fat diet. It's a low fat diet. There's fat in oats and things like that. And so I put some PB2 in here and smushed a banana because I had tried it plain at home and I was like, this would be fine for trips, but I'm not having it at home every day. And so I have this mug that has a lid. I brought it, and I just mashed my banana, put in my PB2 and that, and I brought along some soy milk. But you could use water in a pinch. This would be great for camping. And it was really good. I was thinking for Cheryl, when we go to our trip in October, that I'll bring some cocoa. I could even do some peanut butter cocoa oats. She doesn't like peanut butter in it as much. So let's see. Let me show you this. I see this is the cool thing. This is not cheap enough. I feel like this should be less expensive than it is. But look, it's a cute panda. I almost bought a rice cooker because there was a panda on it. That's why I'm saying that. Okay, before we get to this, and Mona, the book is called The Vegan Pantry by Miyoko Shimmer. Annie is saying, I wanted to make an eggplant tapenade. I have an eggplant tapenade on healthyslowcooking.com. If you want to go there, it's cooked in the slow cooker. So that's what I would look at. It's got, I think, tomatoes, eggplants, olives. It's from Vegan Slow Cooking for 2 are just you. So it uses a small slow cooker, but you could double or triple it. So by small, I mean like 1.5 to 2 quarts. If you have 4 quarts, you could double it or triple it if you have something bigger. I know it is cute, isn't it, Annie? Hello. So let me show you this. Let me get this. There we go. All right. I'm going to come up to the side. I don't really have, I should have set up my phone. I have a little tripod for it, but I didn't. Okay. You guys can kind of see all of that now. So on the side, there's a little thing, you know, that I can unhook it. Here, there's a place that I could keep a fork or spoon. It just opens up. I have nothing in there. It does not fit the cord. And I don't have an affiliate link for this. It's not on Amazon, but you can get similar things on Amazon. So I'm going to open this up, and then this top lid comes off. Both of these are stainless steel, and what you would do is have your meal in here, and so you could keep it in the fridge if you had prepared food, which I didn't. So I just took this off, set it to the side, and I put in my Tasty Bite stuff here. And then this separates the layers. So when it's all put together, I have this, but I'm going to show you what it would look like for cooking because there's no plastic. So this is just a little bottom, and it plugs in. There's a little plug, and it plugs right in. You're using it kind of like a little mini steam table. So I filled up the water till it got about even with these. It said to put less in, but I went through it. So you can always pour that out. I used bottled water because I didn't want to use sink water and have that actually be absorbed by my rice. So imagine there's water in there. I put this in here. It has a little baby cup and you scoop your uncooked rice out. I used white rice, but I'm going to do a brown rice experiment with this on the channel probably next week or the week after if I can. If not, it may have to wait till June. So I found if I did 4 to 6 cups of these, I still needed to add another 1.5 or 2 extra of water. So imagine this is just filled with rice and water. And then I put my little divider in here. This is plastic, it is in there. And then I put in my 2 Tasty Bite things, so they're already room temperature. Then I would put this guy on. Let me move this back. And when I plug it in, let's see if you can kind of see. I don't know if there's enough light. But I'll come back down here and I'll read it to you. And there's like a rice meal, soup, reheat, keep warm. The rice is like a rice cooker, so it cooks about 45 minutes, even for white rice, and it made really delicious rice. And I cooked 2 meals so far in it. No, 3 meals. I cooked 3 meals in this. So I cooked a meal Saturday night. I cooked a meal yesterday I cooked lunch. Yeah, I think I've had 3. I think I had a rice snack one night. But I can also heat up things like potatoes and vegetables. So like they talk about, you can have rice in the bottom. We used another one. And actually here, let me find the Itaki site and send it to you too. They're kind of expensive and there's a lot of knockoffs. And I haven't gone through them, so I don't know if it's worth it to get just this one. That's the Itaki link if you want to see it. So it was really easy to clean up. Cheryl sent me with I have a little dish, you know, like where you put your dishes to dry. I've got a cloth for that. She's got a little camping OXO washer thing that holds the soap. We have a little travel kit of soap. I brought a straw brush because I'm reusing my iced chai and iced matcha cup. I'm trying to look over there and see if I'm missing anything else. But I have a bowl, I have some silverware and things like that. So it was pretty easy. I am a gadget person. And this has a little handle. If you actually put the thing on, there we go. Now I'm clipped on. So if you work in an office, this would be really great. And instead of just making, I like that it makes fresh rice, but you could heat up leftover rice and things like that. So you could bring this with your stuff, and then you just plug it in. You just want to make sure that there's enough time for everything to do what it needs to do. Oh, soy curls. Love me some soy curls. Let's see, I missed something. Oh, Miss Terry says, thanks to you, I'm on the soy curl bus now. They're so filling. Brand new vegan created a recipe for birria's tacos for Cinco de Mayo. Ooh, yum. That sounds delicious. Do you guys have any last minute questions before I go? I'm going to try and catch the very last speaker before I go on my exciting cloak and dagger adventure. But I'll keep talking for a minute or two and see if there's any more questions. If you got anything, just get it in. Monique says, thanks for taking care of us peeps by coming on a live. I'm glad I caught it. I'm very sorry for misinformation. I am a little scattered because I'm not at home. And usually Stacy is on Tuesday, but we did do a Wednesday recently, so that was my mistake for sure. Oh, and Terry's saying Brand New Vegan's Tacos uses the soy curls. Okay, here's a question. Oh, Miss Terry, if you don't know how to find your Ninja Creamy ebook, it's going to be in your ThriveCart account. If you're not sure, if you're not sure where your Ninja Creamy experience is, where Kathy's Cooking Club classes are, where classes you might have bought, any of that stuff, email support@healthyslowcooking.com and Cheryl will help you while I'm gone. It's just a matter of like getting the link to you and possibly resetting your password. So it's really easy to do, but you do have to reach out. I don't know why. Sometimes ThriveCart can have some trouble resetting passwords and things like that. It does not come with a car adapter, but we actually got a thing that goes in that makes it into a plug-in. So Cheryl might be able to talk to you about that. Maxine says, I have some zucchini I would like to use up. I am just starting to experiment with it in the creamy. But I would try adding a half cup of it peeled if you don't want to add a green color. And I would not cook it. I would use it raw. So that's what I would do. Oh, thanks, Obs. You have a fantastic day, too. Oh, thank you, Monique. I solemnly swear to drive home safely. And actually, I'm taking Cheryl's car, so there's like all the safety features. My car is like 11 years old and has like none of the safety features. So it's like it drives itself almost. Yeah, if ThriveCart, and I think it's better for me not to spit out a link to you, but it's support@healthyslowcooking.com. Oh, thanks, Raven. I will think of you and pretend you guys are all with me in all the fun. If it's appropriate, I'll do a little filming. If it's not, I'll just take some pictures. Yeah, Cheryl's saying we have an inverter, a car inverter, so it plugs into that little lighter thing, and then it just has 2 plug-ins, I think. Maybe it's 1. Tanya says she uses frozen zucchini in smoothies all the time, and I don't peel. I think the only reason I'm kind of saying peel, like if you were trying to make the snow white vanilla of your dreams, you may not want a green tinge in it. Is it enough or not? I can't tell you exactly because I'm still experimenting. But it should work. Is it replay? Yeah, this is going to be on everything's going to be replayed. I'm just going live on YouTube. You know how that is. Oh, thanks, Miss Terry. You have a wonderful day, and I promise to be safe. Thanks, Betsy. Yeah, frozen cauliflower is great to use, and that is going to be one of the whole food plant-based optional thickeners as well. Oh, good. Thank you, TS. I'm glad you thought it was awesome. And yes, my moderator, Cheryl. And always thanks to Cheryl. And thanks to Cheryl for lending me her car to have a safe drive up here and back, because it's like an 8-hour drive. So tomorrow I am literally going to be in the car all day. And if I'm doing these stops, there could be thrift stops happening too. You just never know with me. So it's going to be a real long drive. If you're trying to get in touch with me tomorrow, just know I'm probably not going to answer much at all. I will look at things tonight before I go to bed, and probably as soon as I get up. Aw, thanks, Mona. You're the best. You're funny. You guys are awesome. Raven says, I've used vanilla and zucchini to make my oatmeal taste like zucchini bread. Yes, I used to have a zucchini bread oatmeal, and that would work really well. On healthyslowcooking.com, I have zucchini chocolate chip cookies, so that would work too. All right, guys, big hugs. I would drive to London. I would love to. I would love to come and see you. You guys have just the very, very best day, and I will talk to you guys really soon. Don't forget, tune in tomorrow, Wednesday, at 1 p.m. to see Stacy and Cheryl live, okay? All right, bye.